Good day, everyone, wherever you are joining us from, live today or on demand later. My name is Diego Tamburini. I'm in the industry lead for manufacturing in the Microsoft Azure Marketplace team. I hope you are all safe and healthy and making the best of these interesting times. Welcome to this Azure webinar, Unleash the Power of IoT with DeviceTone Genie, featuring our partner, Cloud of Things. It is my pleasure to introduce them to you. They're a partner we've been working with for almost 2 years in the Azure engineering team. They have a solution called DeviceTone Genie, which recently joined our Azure Marketplace. This solution makes it very easy to connect to and manage products on the IoT in a plug and play fashion with very little or no code, helping product manufacturers to quickly enable their products to deliver on the idea of connected product or product as a service. In addition, they also develop an integration with Microsoft Dynamics 365 to enable end-to-end connected field service scenarios. They have customers in manufacturing, in smart cities and buildings, in smart energy and utilities. So today, we are honored to have Eliav Gnessing, Cloud of Things CTO, and the visionary force behind DeviceTone Genie. I want to remind everybody to please ask your questions anytime in the chat window, and we'll address them at the end of the presentation. Next slide, please. So before I hand it over to Eliav, I'll take just 2 or 3 minutes to give you a quick overview of the Microsoft Commercial Marketplace. The Microsoft Commercial Marketplace, I'll just call it Marketplace for short, is essentially our e-commerce platform to list and sell both Microsoft and partner solutions. And as I mentioned, Cloud of Things published their Azure-based solution on this marketplace. But in addition to Azure solutions, you will also find Office 365 and Dynamics solutions listed there. So this diagram represents our marketplace and associate commerce ecosystem. On the left side of the diagrams are the publishers, basically the independent software vendors who create software products and services. And on the right are the buyers, the customers looking for solutions to meet their needs. At the center of the diagram, you have the Microsoft One catalog of all the offerings. And in this catalog are both first-party Microsoft solutions and third-party solutions, our partners' solutions. So in order to be included in this single catalog, a publisher needs to publish a transactable offer in the marketplace. By transactable, we mean a solution that can be sold through the marketplace. So for publishers, by creating a transactable offer in the marketplace, it is much easier now to grow your business with direct access to Microsoft customers, our reseller channels, our sales team, and our go-to-market benefits. And now you can also choose to allow thousands of resellers to sell your solution to their customers. The next, please. And you can use the commercial marketplace, customers can use the commercial marketplace to find, try, and buy solutions through 2 stores mainly, the Azure Marketplace and the Microsoft App Stores. They're basically are both around the same one catalog. The marketplace is more orientated towards IT and developers, whereas the App Stores is more orientated towards business users. The platform helps to simplify your procurement and to deploy both Microsoft and partner solutions very easily and securely. And the marketplace is evolving, and we are growing it both in number of offerings, but also in functionality and experience. So always check back for changes on the platform. And I'll next slide, please. My last slide is that. I don't think that this will surprise many of you, but as organizations adopt the cloud, more and more of them are embracing cloud applications, and they're looking for faster ways to deploy, buy, and pay for their solutions. So as such, online marketplaces are becoming an increasingly important part of the customer journey. And we believe strongly on this, and that's why we're investing so much effort and resources on building a solid marketplace of solutions. So you've likely seen similar stats, but the research we've done in partnership with Forrester indicate that by 2023, at least 17% of all business-to-business transactions will happen through e-commerce. And at the core of these changes is a need for customers for convenience and autonomy. So more than 70% of business buyers want a self-service marketplace so they can, on their own, research, deploy, and manage the applications that they purchase. Okay, that's all the time I'm going to take today to talk about the marketplace. In the chat window, I'll be adding some resources about it if you want to learn more. But let's move on to the main portion of today's webinar, which is Cloud of Things as a presentation. So without further delay, I give you Eliav. Eliav, the virtual room floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Diego, and I'm really super excited to be here, so thank you very much. What I want to talk about today is DeviceTone Genie, and before that, I want to just give you the outline of what we're going to present. So first of all, Cloud of Things is all about working with product companies, and I want to discuss some of the challenges that we see in the market for product companies. Additionally, I'm going to present DeviceTone Genie. We're actually launching DeviceTone Genie today, so I'm going to talk about it and how it really helps product companies do real IoT in the field. We'll see how we connect Genie to a gas meter and actually have a working gas meter counter connected to the cloud, connected to Dynamics. So we're going to show the end-to-end solution with Genie, and we're going to discuss other use cases and other things that can be done with Genie, and of course how you can get started with your project with Genie. Genie is a collaboration we have with Nordic Semiconductor and AES that developed MinIoT, and of course Microsoft Azure. So thank you very much for Microsoft for hosting us. So before we dive into Genie, I want to talk about connected field service and about what we do with customers. So overall, Cloud of Things is all about making product manufacturers and companies that distribute connected products lives much easier in connecting devices to the cloud. We usually work in the utilities and manufacturing industries, and our customers usually face or want to create a mass volume or large volume of devices that are price optimized, but they still want the production grade features you'd expect from a mature product. And we span across different use cases. You see on the left the connected faucets use case, for example. These are like infrared faucets that run actually facility management. You know, when the soap is over, you can send a cleaner, for example. We're doing electricity metering and metering in general. We just see today a gas metering, agriculture, street lights, gas level, empty full monitoring. The idea here is all about providing a solution that really helps product manufacturers to do that. And as you can see, because we have a versatile technology, we can span across multiple industries. But again, product manufacturers, unlike other IoT cases, are looking also for extra features like, for example, managed distributors, managed resellers, making sure that all this ecosystem really works for them. And we come to solve the problem for them. So this is Cloud of Things. We are based in Boston and in Tel Aviv, and I'm talking to you right now from Tel Aviv. Let's talk about the challenges that the product manufacturers have. So, you know, let's say I'm a product manufacturer. I manufacture gas meters, and I want to connect my gas meters. Okay, so what do I need to do? So except from solving the business problems and the business model problems and these issues that are actually the most important issues, I have many other challenges that are part of the problems I need to solve. So first of all, I need to do cloud programming because I want to connect it to the cloud and I want to run all the infrastructure needed. I need also to manage thousands of devices, so I need a really scalable solution. It's not only about scale, it's also about the device itself. So I need to know electronics, I need to know connectivity and how to connect this device. I need firmware programmers that know how to connect this device to the cloud. This is also another area or another thing that I need to know in order to do or to create such a solution. I need to make sure that my solution is secure, and all of this needs to work together. So I have many challenges in getting this to work, and we see that day to day. We visit product companies, they want to do it, and many times it's not very easy for them because they don't have the multidisciplinary capabilities, and even if they have them, it takes them much more time than they expected. So overall, we see a lot of these product companies that are actually, they have a demo on Raspberry Pi or an Arduino, and now they start to understand that this is not the end of the project, just the beginning of the project. And eventually they exceed their budget. They take a lot of time, sometimes 2 or 3 years to develop the project. Even when they finish to develop it, they still have significant cybersecurity vulnerabilities. And most importantly, they spend most of their time on developing the infrastructure for the project instead of focusing on the business problem and the business value they want to bring to their customers. Okay, so this is the problem or the problem scope that we see for product companies. And Cloud of Things and DeviceTone, which is the Cloud of Things product, comes to solve these issues or these challenges that product companies have. So first of all, we have DeviceTone Genie. DeviceTone Genie is a hardware plug-and-play module that is ready to run. You can connect it to any device. It actually has inside DeviceTone firmware that can be also installed on other devices. So our product is actually firmware that runs on hardware, and Genie is our plug-and-play hardware module that can work for pilots, for POCs, and for actual deployment. We'll talk about Genie later in much detail. We also have DeviceTone Manager. DeviceTone Manager is a very unique product. It's a unique product because it complements the commercial IoT cloud, or the main IoT cloud. In our case, it's Azure IoT. And what Manager does, it actually, except from device management, it also manages the device behaviors, the device configurations, and how we want the devices to act. It also manages the hierarchy of the project. If I have distributors and resellers, I can manage those hierarchies and permissions for the solution in order to get a solution that really works for someone who distributes products. Part of our solution is also a CRM connector. We have connectors to several CRM systems, but the first is Dynamics 365, and we have a customizable plugin. With Dynamics 365, there are actually Microsoft tools that exist to do that, and our connector is actually about making sure that these are set up correctly in order for you to have an end-to-end solution, and we'll see that in a live demo today. We also have CloudSwitch. CloudSwitch is a very important technology that comes with the DeviceTone stack. And the idea with CloudSwitch, it allows our customers to retain their data ownership. So the idea is that data is streamed from the devices directly to your Azure IoT private cloud. Okay, so unlike other solutions, other competitors, the data goes directly to your cloud of choice, to your private cloud, and we see that again and again. I'm visiting product companies and I see that it's very important for them that that the solution works with their private cloud. The data is retained on their premises. If there are some customers that, because of GDPR and other reasons, they have multiple Azure IoT instances and they want data to reside in the specific country, and CloudSwitch enables that. So the CloudSwitch technology is managed from DeviceTone Manager, and the credentials and the details of how to connect to the specific cloud goes directly to the Azure IoT instance. Another very important element of what we provide is customizable management dashboards that are built for product manufacturers and people who distribute connected products. And we give them actually as open source for our customers. So they can create a production-grade dashboard for themselves. So customers who have a volume of devices get those as open source, and they can use those to create their own solution. I mentioned the hierarchical management for distributors. That's a very important part. Product companies usually want to have a permission or levels of permission management for distributors, for people who work with the project, and we provide this management infrastructure for them that works with Azure IoT. Okay, so the idea is not building the infrastructure that solves the problem for people who distribute products. Now let's jump into the architecture. So first of all, on the left-hand side, you have the assets. These are the devices you want to manage. And devices you want to manage can be connected in two ways. One is directly to the cloud, and this is what Genie does. Genie is a product that has cellular connectivity, and it connects directly to the Azure IoT cloud instance. We have, on the bottom, you have the DeviceTone gateway. We also have an embedded Linux solution that was built for product manufacturers called the DeviceTone Gateway. And this solution knows how to manage sensors in multiple ways of communication: Bluetooth, Bluetooth Mesh, ULE, LoRa, and other protocols. And the idea with the gateway, it was built also to be customizable. So when a product company wants to build a solution, we can customize this solution for them. In the middle, you see DeviceTone Custom. We have a hardware partner called AES that also developed Genie that works with us when a customer wants to go to scale. They help us and the customer build a scalable solution based on subsets of the Genie infrastructure or the gateway infrastructure. So the idea is that you can, when you go to scale and you want to reduce your bill of material price, we work with customers to do that. So this is the DeviceTone Custom. In the middle, you see the Azure IoT Suite. One of the nice things about DeviceTone is that it actually uses all the power that the Azure IoT Suite has. You know, I've been working with Azure IoT for several years now, and it's amazing how it grew, and it became a really, really powerful infrastructure. Plus, it gives you all the tools you need to connect your business or to connect to your business. So the devices send data directly to Azure IoT. And at the bottom, we have the manager, and the manager is our unique product that actually manages the life cycle of devices and the firmware and firmware behavior of devices. And this is a very important part of the story, because we are not only managing the firmware updates, we are also managing how the firmware behaves. And that's the beauty of the DeviceTone technology. This is the configuration of devices also includes CloudSwitch. CloudSwitch is our patented technology that enables the manager to manage policies and define which private IoT cloud the devices send data to. Okay, so CloudSwitch is the glue that glues the manager and Azure IoT and the devices together to create a cohesive solution. On the right-hand side, you have Azure IoT Central and Dynamics. These are standard Microsoft tools. You have the operational dashboards I've mentioned, and the idea is that when someone works with DeviceTone, he gets the end-to-end solution that covers all the aspects, from the device to the business applications and the infrastructure. This is a bit technical, but it's a very important slide, and we are asked a lot of times how DeviceTone complements Azure IoT. So first of all, DeviceTone is all about the price-optimized mass volume cases. Okay, it can run on ARM-M0 processors and really small processors. And as I said, we also have an embedded Linux solution. But the idea is that it fits the mass volume price optimized cases. We focus on the device side. The technology is first of all device side technology, but also the manager is an important part of it. The way we manage devices, and we have all the product manufacturer use cases implemented. We have the CloudSwitch technology that I mentioned that directs device data directly to your IoT hub or IoT central instance. We have the hierarchical company user and role management. Security is a very important part here. We have went through several pen tests and security reviews, and it's a very important aspect. Actually, most of our team, the R&D team in Israel, comes from security companies, so we are very, very much security aware. An important, maybe the most important point here, it's a ready-to-run solution. Unlike other alternatives you have, download an SDK and start developing. Usually, we don't see product companies really do that. And we have a ready-to-run solution that enables you to actually work with that actually works with from the beginning, from the start. So this is a very important aspect, and it works both for manufacturing and the utilities industry. We have the security, the firmware over the air, and we also have a new IoT plug-and-play support. Okay, so IoT plug-and-play is a Microsoft technology. It's a new technology, and we are supporting that, and I'll show that during the presentation. On the right-hand side, you can see the technical stack we have. We have a long list of libraries and modules that come together, bundled inside our solution to provide a full stack of production-ready features on the device. So with that, let's go directly to DeviceTone Genie, and I'll show you how Genie really works, and we'll actually see it live. So what is Genie? So Genie is actually, for those of you who are familiar with what PLC is, it's a programmable logic controller. So it's a controller that is cloud configurable. You can configure it from the cloud, and it sends data directly to Azure IoT, which is very important. Genie includes, first of all, a cellular connectivity. It has an LTE-M cellular connectivity plus GPRS, so it means that it can work anywhere. It works anywhere, and the LTE-M set of technologies enable this device, first of all, to be very cost-effective in terms of cost of connectivity. We can see sometimes, in most countries, sub $10 a year connectivity costs per device, sometimes $5 a year. So it's really cheap to have LTE-M connectivity for IoT devices. It has a MinIoT module inside. MinIoT is a module created by AES that is a very versatile module that is based on Nordic chipset. So we have a very, very sophisticated and versatile BLE infrastructure inside Genie. So it's not only about the cellular connectivity, it's also about the Bluetooth connectivity. And there are deployments where Genie is deployed only with BLE without the cellular connectivity, and it's just Node inside the solution. From the power management perspective, Genie can use 3.3 or 5 volts power input, and can be also battery operated. So if, for example, you have, a pizza oven, and you want to connect, to create a connected pizza oven, you can put Genie inside, provide the power to Genie from the oven itself, and you have a bundled connected oven. Okay, so it's not only about connecting with batteries, it also have a power input. Plus, it has interfaces, and it has all these interfaces built in, and these interfaces are programmable from the cloud, and I'll show a demo of how this is done. So the types of interfaces we have is GPIOs, just IOs, I2C, which is a very common connectivity protocol for different chips and sensors. We have UART, which is actually a serial port. It's a textual input-output protocol used a lot in machines, in devices, in products. Plus, we have Modbus, and Modbus is a very important protocol when you go to a bit bigger devices. And Modbus is very common in product manufacturers and people who work with ODMs who manufacture products for them. So we support Modbus out of the box. And with those 4 interfaces, Genie can actually connect to any device, or at least 90% of the devices we tackle. Sometimes there are specific protocols that are not covered by Genie, and then we are building a custom solution. But it fits a lot of the cases that we work with. So what do you get with Genie? So first of all, it's fully integrated. It's ready to run. You just stick it in your device and it works. Okay. You have the device lifecycle management, firmware updates. There's no firmware programming. I'll show how it works in a minute. It's tested for cybersecurity, so it is already a secure solution. The time to market is unrivaled, and this is a very important aspect of the story. Why? Because as a product company, if you want to test your business case and your business model, you don't need to pay a lot in order to get your connected product to the field. With Genie, you can just buy a couple of Genies, connect them to your device or to your product, and just ship them to the field and see how your business model works. So for that, it's actually unrivaled time to market. So this is maybe the strongest part here, that you can get started immediately, just a couple of days, and you have a working product. And it's not only about sending data to the cloud, it's about the business applications. So Dynamics 365 integration enables you to have an end-to-end solution that actually goes up to the business applications, which is very important to get an end-to-end solution and to really test your business case. So with that, let's go directly to the demos. And what we're going to show on the demos are several things. First of all, I want to show you a new solution that we have built. I think it's maybe the first or one of the first solutions built integrated into the Azure Marketplace. We have actually built a provisioning wizard inside the Azure Marketplace to provision Genies. So the moment you order a Genie, you already have it set up. You have an environment set up, and you are ready to go. So I'll show that. We'll also look a bit at, for those of you who are not familiar with IoT Central and what IoT Plug and Play is, I will explain in 2 words what it does. And we look at the Azure IoT Central, which is the Microsoft solution for these kinds of use cases. And we'll actually connect a real gas meter. I'll show you the process of connecting a gas meter using the DeviceTone tools. And eventually, we will look at the Dynamics 365 and we'll see how connected field service works. So overall, what we will demo today is how we take a meter and connect it to Dynamics. And this is like an end-to-end solution in maybe 5 to 10 minutes of configuration. So it's super exciting. So with that, let's jump to the Azure Marketplace. And the starting point in the Azure Marketplace is actually the DeviceTone suite. Okay, so this is the page, the DeviceTone page in AppSource. And when you press Get It Now, you actually jumped to the DeviceTone IoT Suite wizard, which is this page. Okay, so I went into the page, and now I have a provisioning wizard that actually asks me to some questions in order for the system to know what kind of deployment I want to do. As you can see, the user I had in the Azure Marketplace is actually known to the DeviceTone wizard. So as a customer, my credentials and my identity is already known. So all this cycle becomes very, very easy. So I just need to select the offering. The current offering we have is the Genie Starter Kit, and I'll press Next. And now I'm asked to create a company. Why do I need to create a company? Because the DeviceTone Manager platform needs to know the company identity in order to create the solution. So I will just write just made up a gas company. Just to put my email address, and password. What happens now? All my my entities are actually provisioned inside the DeviceTone platform. So all this is being created automatically for me. And in a second, I will get to the next stage. The next stage is about the project. Okay, I created a company. Now I'm creating a project for that company. Okay, so this is my gas monitoring project. Putting the details in. Okay, I'm currently just ordering one starter kit. Okay, I'm putting in my putting in the address. Okay, I'm in Tel Aviv right now. My zip code and my phone number. Okay, so with that, I actually put in my detail, and now I can actually decide what kind of provision do I want to have. I can have my solution provisioned only with the DeviceTone manager, and then I will provision the rest manually. The second option is to provision it together with the already known IoT Central credentials. This is what we will do in this demo. You can also provision the Dynamics connector. I won't demonstrate that today. Okay. What I need in order to provision IoT Central, I need the two elements or two let's say security keys from my Azure IoT Central. So I'll go ahead and get those from my Azure IoT Central. I'm going to the device connection page, copying my scope ID and the primary key for provisioning devices. Okay, this is what I did. Why do I need these keys? What happens is the manager actually uses those keys to generate keys for the devices and send the keys to them. So this way the devices are provisioned and the devices know their IoT Central and where to connect to. Okay, so this is what it's been used, and of course it can be managed later on in the DeviceTone manager. So now I finished my provisioning session, my wizard, and I now have a working solution inside the DeviceTone system. So this is the Azure Marketplace. Now with that, what I want to show is to actually show a demo of how to connect a Pulse gas meter. Okay, and to do that, I need to explain how in 2 minutes how a gas meter works. Okay, so first of all, pulse gas meter works by counting the number of pulses. Every time a digit changes from the digit changes from 9 to 0, the counter goes by 1. This is how I know how to count. Okay, so actually it's a dry contact. It's 2 wires that tick when the counter goes up. Okay, and what I want to do is to send telemetry to the cloud. For example, once a day, I want to change to send the data. In this demo, we'll configure the system to change the data once in 30 seconds. In order for the reading to get to the cloud immediately. But in real life cases, it's once a day or when values change. Okay. There are other settings like the dry contact sensitivity, the sometimes jitter and things like that you need to configure, and I'll show you how this is done through the DeviceTone system. Okay. So let's just have a look at how this looks like. I just shot a video a couple of minutes ago, okay, of how to do that. Okay, so we have a gas meter. The gas meter now shows 222, which is the reading right now. And what I need to do is I actually need to connect the 2 wires that come from this gas meter to Genie. Okay, so I'm taking these wires now and I'm connecting these wires to Genie, just closing the connection. That's it. I have a connected meter. Okay, so this is a regular gas meter. I connect Genie also to power. In this case, I powered it by battery. Okay, and I got into the device Genie dashboard, which is the manager screen. Okay, I'm diving into the project. I can, as a product manufacturer, I can have multiple projects of multiple devices. Inside my project, I have also different hierarchy management. For example, I can manage locations or places and allocate devices to these places. For those of you who are familiar with the Azure IoT stack, all this management eventually creates device twin properties inside the Azure platform. Okay, so this is what it does. Now I went into the Genie and I chose to configure it. I have GPIO interfaces because I'm connecting a GPIO. Just selected GPIO interfaces, and I'm now going into the device to cloud configuration. Since I want the counter to go to the cloud, what I can do is just select one of the data streams because I connected it to input number one. I'm configuring input number one as the gas counter stream I have right now. Okay, so I'm just configuring that. So this is the gas counter input. This is just its name and description. And now I need to configure its behavior, okay? And this is one of the elements that are unique about what we do at DeviceTone. I'm just configuring the behavior of this GPIO. You see that I didn't do any programming, okay? I'm just configuring things in order to define what behaviors this GPIO would have. I'm configuring the jitter sensitivity of this port. I want to send the information once in 30 seconds when the value changes. Okay, so this is the configuration of my input. I'm now configuring also the output. Okay, and for now I won't do that. But for example, if you want to connect a relay, you can do that. I can also define some rules, some offline rules on the device. But for now, I'm just applying the changes. And what happens in the background, the device twin, the properties of this device are written back to the manager, are written back to the Azure stack. And now I have a definition of how the firmware needs to behave. Okay, so it's like an applicative IoT plug and play. Okay, so I've defined a profile for the behavior of the device. Now we jumped into IoT Central. Okay, and inside IoT Central, the IoT plug and play infrastructure provisions the behavior and the data streams of the device automatically. Okay, so I have that. This is what IoT plug and play is, and we can see that the moment I applied these changes, the device went offline for a minute or two because it read its new configuration. It will get online in a couple of seconds. What I'm doing right now in the demo, I'm just pumping air into the meter. We'll see the air digits starting to progress. You can see them starting to progress. And when my counter will go to 224, it just went to 224. I don't know if you can see that in the video. When it went to 224, Genie will take 30 seconds. And then we'll send this data change information back to Azure IoT. Okay, so we'll wait a couple of seconds. In the meantime, you can see that I'm sending other metrics from Genie to the cloud automatically. Things like RSSI, which is the cellular reception the unit has, or the temperature of the unit. Okay, so I have several system metrics I'm sending to the cloud, and of course I'm sending the gas meter counter. Okay, so the idea is that the data model includes both some system level metrics plus the things you have configured. Okay, and the things I have configured in this device is the gas meter counter, and you can see that I got this count, the 224 count to the gas meter, and I can still use all the tools I have in the Microsoft stack. You see, I can change my device name and everything because it's actually native to Azure IoT. Okay, so this is how I connected a gas meter in like maybe 2-3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. I actually created a connected solution. So this is the gas meter demo. And what I wanted to show is how I take it to the next level and actually connect this device to Dynamics 365. In Dynamics 365, we have an awesome partner called Prodware that helps us implement the Dynamics 365 project. So we will take we will show you how we work with an environment that was set up by Prodware. Just a second. I will just jump into connected field service. Okay, so this is the the standard connected field service dashboard. Okay, connected field service is all about getting information from IoT Central to Dynamics, and it has an IoT alerts section. What I want to show you is how this is configured inside Central. Okay, so I will just jump to one of the genies. This is you see, this is an actual live genie. Just sends data right now. Okay, and what I want to do is to create an alert. Okay, the way this is done is through a rule. IoT Central has rules, and there's a rule here that I created that's called CRM ticket. I can just use the regular rule engine that IoT Central provides. So I can create a rule, enable this rule, the CRM ticket rule. Okay, what would happen is that when my Genie device sends a new data point, and the rule is triggered, what would happen is that because we implemented the connector, the connected field service connector, we will get a new IoT alert into the system. Okay, so here you can see the list of IoT alerts. This is an alert that was created a couple of minutes ago, and if we will wait long enough, we will see this alert or a new alert in the system. So I can use again all the standard Microsoft tools when I'm doing that. I'll show you what I can do with IoT alerts inside the connected field service module. When an alert is created inside Dynamics, I get all the IoT information for that alert. You can see that this alert was received from Genie number 2, and I can see all the values that caused this alert to fire. And with that alert, I can actually create a case and summon a technician. Okay, so so I can, for example, select the name of the customer, okay? And I just created a case inside Dynamics, in the Dynamics field service. So this is how easy it is. When you work with this stack of solutions, you actually have the full stack of from the device to the cloud, but also to the business application. Okay, so this is a very important element in the overall story of not only dealing with sending data to the cloud, but also solving a real business problem. So this is about the Dynamics 365 connected field service demo that I wanted to show you. As I said, we work with Prodware, and Prodware provide all these Dynamics 365 solutions, and we've been working with them to do this kind of integration, and it came out really, really awesome. So to summarize, Genie and what Genie can do for you. So first of all, you get the fastest time to market solution in terms of connected products. We run programs with customers of 6 days to prototype, which means that you can have a pilot in 6 days. So you take you get a Genie, you configure it to connect to your device, and you can have a prototype or even a pilot very, very fast. Actually, to go production grade is something that regularly, as I said, can take 2 years. With us, we reduce, I think, 80% of the thing if you know your business, the business problem you want to solve. And this is a very important aspect of the story of making sure that we know the business problem and we focus on the business problem. And actually, DeviceTone solves all the infrastructure problems to get started with solving the business problem for your customers. It's a very flexible solution. We work with your private Azure IoT instance. It's your cloud. the hardware we can connect to is very as a long versatile list of connectivity methods as you've seen. And we have open APIs, okay? So the idea is that you don't need to lock in on some alien product management cloud. It's your Azure IoT instance, and you can just work with it. Our solution is very robust. We have secure firmware updates to our product, so all the FOTA stuff is of course goes with an encrypted solution with certificates, etc. We work also with hardware encryption modules on the devices, so it means that we support also TPM modules. So the idea is that it's a highly secure solution. We have our software distribution and rollout mechanism inside the manager. So we deal with all the problems that product manufacturers have when distributing software to their devices. And we have also a distributed authorization mechanism. I mentioned that the resellers and distributors. This is something that is really hard to solve, and we have built a system to manage, the company hierarchy and the project hierarchy you usually have when you have distributors, and you want these distributors to see only devices that they have permissions to, and you want the distributor of the distributor to only see his devices. So the idea is that this hierarchy provides the complete solution for product manufacturing. And 2 words about security. I mentioned the TPM support. We today, when we work with Azure, we work with SAS tokens, but we have the capability also to work with certificates. This is something that will come out very soon too. Our solution was actually pen tested, as I mentioned several times. So security is very important for us. And we use also some security and the crypto chip that is included inside the Nordic chipsets in order to get a secure solution also on the hardware encrypt decrypt mechanism. So overall, it's a highly secure solution. So what's next for you? First of all, Genie, the Genie starter kit is only $99. So you can just go to the marketplace and get started. You can order one of our Genies, and as you saw, you actually get a full IoT environment provision. We do not supply the IoT Central or IoT Hub instance you provision, but you can work with your own Azure IoT environment, and Microsoft provides also these environments for free. So overall, $99, and you have a full IoT environment at hand. You can start working with for your pilot. We make your product smart, and the idea here is that we are always looking at the business value and the business application. We are trying to solve all the infrastructure elements of the project. So the idea is that you can focus on your business value and your business application. It doesn't matter if it's reducing operational costs or increasing your sales. We are focused on your business value, With that, it's not only about that, it's about also the connected field service use case. Usually product companies want to have the ability also, to dispatch technicians or to have a ticketing system, and we have those integrations at hand. So overall, we're very excited for you to get started with, with the Azure Marketplace and the DeviceTone Genie and DeviceTone Suite. So I encourage you to just order your trial environment right now. I think that's where I'll stop, and I'll see what questions do you guys have.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Eliav. A really interesting presentation and demo. I thought that the demo really brought things to life, and I want to highlight one thing that you didn't see in the demo, which was Eliav writing code to turn the gas meter into a smart connected device. So which I thought it was very cool. So we have about 10 minutes for questions. There is a very active question log here, so I'll try to go to as many as we can with the time left. We'll follow up on the others if we run out of time. So I'll start with this one, Eliav. A question was about how many devices can be managed using a single system.
Okay, so today we have, for example, streetlight customers that are managing 200,000 devices on a system. So overall, it's not really limited. The Azure IoT stack has a lot of infrastructure in place, DPS and multiple and support for multiple IoT hubs. When this is bundled together with the manager, it can be a really scalable solution. The infrastructure of the DeviceTone cloud is all based on Kubernetes. So it means that, it's microservices that are really, really scalable. So we didn't see any problem, even with customers who have hundreds of thousands of devices.
Excellent, thank you. Another question that came in was, when will 5G be supported by Genie?
Wow, that's a great question because we are actually working on it right now. So the modem you have inside Genie is, as I mentioned, is LTE-M and GPRS. It's based on the Qualcomm technology inside. And we also have demos today of 5G chipsets, but I cannot really tell you when it's going to be available, but we are actually working on it right now. So I expect that in a couple of months it will be ready.
Great. Another question was, how interoperable are the components? For example, can the Genie module work with any gateway?
Wow, that's a good question. So the Genie has a BLE peripheral role, or let's say a standard BLE that comes from Nordic. What we have we actually also have a project that uses WirePass, which is another mesh technology. So overall, we have several stacks supported out of the box. If you have a standard BLE or a standard BLE gateway, there's a significant chance that it would work seamlessly. But we need to get into the details in order to really understand the compatibility. Overall, from our experience, we have implemented with Genie both BLE mesh and BLE peripheral and the WirePass on the Nordic chipset, and all these 2.4G infrastructure worked. So we need to to check exactly what gateway Bluetooth technology you have in order to decide.
There were a couple of questions about availability and cost, and I think that they were answered by, and it's in the last slide that is still displaying. So it is available and it's $99, and you can get it on the marketplace.
Yes, we are going to ship Genies, I think start shipping Genies in 10 days, something like that, 10, 14 days. So you can just go ahead and order. Maybe the first ones are going to be delayed for a couple of days, but they are ready to ship. And an important part about the price, I mentioned the custom solutions. Of course, when you go to scale, since product manufacturers are really focused on reducing the bill of material price, usually what we do together with AES, which is our hardware partner, we reduce components from Genie that are not needed, and the price per unit, of course, goes down significantly when you have volumes. Okay, so $99 is the starter kit price, but that's not the final price for high volume, of course.
And speaking of high volumes, there is a question about, say, if you have 5,000 devices to connect and configure, is it possible to do it automatically, or I guess batch mode, or how would you do that?
Yes, so I didn't have time to demonstrate that today, but we have a complete rollout mechanism. We are very experienced in the manufacturing process because we work with high volume. So we have the tools, for example, the manufacturing facility tools to make sure that the security keys and everything are really provisioned correctly to the devices. We have tools for firmware rollout. So overall, we have the tool set to do that, and our platform was built API first. So everything can be also done through APIs. So the idea is that it's not only about having the tools, it's also about if you want to create new scripts, it's all doable using APIs.
Excellent. There is a question here about in case of communication failures, does the device log measurements in case of a communication failure, and for how long can it store these measurements? I guess it's a general question about what happens if there is a communication failure.
Yeah, so of course that's a very good question. And on the gateway, you don't have a problem. We usually work with storage on the gateway, and we keep a lot of data offline. On Genie, you have limited memory. You can have Genie with a flash chip to save some of the data log of the readings, but of course. It's in the order of several megabytes. It's not a lot of data, but for most cases, when we have cases that relate to manufacturing or product use cases, you don't really need to have a large storage there. You just need to to have enough room in your memory to save something like, I don't know, the last week. Readings of the last week. So usually, using the Nordic flash drivers and the AES Min IoT technology, we are using the flash memory, and it's enough. And of course, we have a store and forward mechanism. The moment communication gets back, then data is being sent to the cloud. There's another important aspect here that in many cases, we are using the Bluetooth connectivity as a secondary connection method, which means that if the cellular connectivity is not available, the Bluetooth technology is being used to download data and to service the device. So the technician can log into the device and see why the cellular connectivity didn't work. Okay, so this is done using the Bluetooth mechanism. Overall, this is, of course, a very important question for products that are deployed in the field, and we have several solutions for them.
Excellent, excellent. So, unfortunately, we are out of time, and there are still many questions out there. There was a great engagement. Thank you, everyone, for the questions and the attention. In the chat window, we're posting the link to Cloud of Things on LinkedIn. We will also be making this presentation available on demand for later. And with that, I want to thank Eliav. Thank you very much for a really interesting presentation. Thank you for your partnership. And thank you, everyone, for your attention and your time. And with that, I'll conclude this session. Thank you, Eliav. You have a few seconds for last words.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Thank you for the partnership, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm excited. I think Genie is awesome, and I hope you guys will discover that too. So looking forward to working with all of you, and thank you again very much to you and our other partners for making Genie happen.
Thank you. Okay. With that, goodbye to everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy, and thank you.